Yeah,
What
exactly.
happened?
We can't exactly wait for Leenock all day. So we're loading on in, and I do not have the right overlay, but you know, that doesn't matter. Spawning down in the bottom right-hand side of the map, playing for, actually sponsored by Afrika TV, the Taiwanese division. It's nice.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, it's going to be the Red Terran player. You know him and you love him, Keen.
Alrighty, so we were planning on a TVZ to start things off, but we've got a TVP. Now, I mean, Nice, he's a very good Taiwanese Protoss player. I mean, he's won a fair few of the tournaments over there. He's plays at a pretty high level, and he's one of the guys who does play in WCS. So, yeah, it should be an interesting match between these two.
Yeah, I think so. Again, like I said before, I do like the TVP matchup. I think it's pretty varied at this point. You can go Colossus, you can go Archon, you can go wow, Disruptor. There we go. I haven't seen it for a while, so
Yeah,
name did not come readily to mind. All right, so probe scouting here is nice, which is a must if you're a Protoss facing a Terran, just to see what's going on.
Yeah, in this day and age especially. But you were saying about like how there's a lot of things you can do in TVP these days, and there's arguably even more for the Taiwanese and Chinese players. They sort of have their own style, so it's always interesting to see. We'll see what Nice is gonna do. But is just coming in with that probe scout for starters, then getting up the Nexus.
Yeah, no big problems here. Just a one gate expand. Very safe here. Is going to go for that double second gas here and then a pylon afterwards. And there it is. There's that second assimilator expansion going down on the other side of the map for Keen. No problems whatsoever. Very standard Reaper opening here from Keen. Going to get across the map and see what he can do. Reapers of these days don't really get many kills. Players have figured out how to deal with that early harassment, but it is important for scouting. This is going to be the scout for Keen to figure out what Nice is up to and allow him to prepare in whatever ways he can.
Yeah, I mean, this probe for Nice is heading a little bit to the east. Maybe he's going to throw something up. I mean, it's looking a little suspicious, but sometimes players just go hideout probes, make sure they're not found by the Reaper or anything like that on their way home. Could be for something. You never know. But
no, that's why we watch. If we knew everything that they were going to do, there'd be no reason to cast it, no reason to watch it.
That's a very valid point. Nice has his gateway place to partially block this Reaper from getting up. It's gonna be impossible to say. It's a nice play, but
I know
it does make me a little bit nervous when pros do this, because we've seen even guys like Zest get like units caught in that little pocket they make. So that always makes me nervous a little bit. But a solid player like Nice, that shouldn't happen.
No, absolutely not. I mean, that would definitely be a surprise if we saw that one, but not today at all. So Stargate opening here from Nice. You could go for some Phoenix play, could go for an Oracle opening here too, could go for both possibly. That's more something we see against Zerg though. But yeah, no more hopping up. Those Adepts are patrolling that front. Absolutely no more scouting from that Reaper whatsoever. Warp Gate coming in from Nice too. And it looks like we're going bio here from Keen. Marine production, Widow Mines here too, and a couple medevacs. So we should see a Widow Mine drop, maybe with some Marine support in Nice's future fairly soon.
Yeah, he's also got the few Hellions out, so Keen really going for this aggressive style. Interestingly enough, though, Nice has gone for 3 Adepts, which, I mean, you don't really use Adept unless you're making like an Adept glaive timing, so these are pretty defensive. I mean, he may move out with them, we'll see, but generally they're very good for dealing with Hellions, dealing with mines, unless he's out of position with them. Looks like he's actually just going to pop that Reaper off. And then...
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the Phoenix scouts the drop coming. Has to get the Widow Mines out of there.
Yeah, that's actually so nice for Nice. Just the fact that he made a Phoenix happened again. So made the Phoenix, sent it across the map, and look at this. This is actually such a good defense, and this is the Taiwanese flavor, by the way. He's throwing up an expansion in the top right at that gold base.
Nice is going for it, man. He's like, all right, I know it's Keen. I know I'm probably not favored here, but so what? Let's make this thing happen. Let's go for the early expand to the gold. See what we can do.
Hellions are also deflected, and look at this. The Oracle's out as well. I mean, this is going pretty well for Nice. And then I mean, Keen, he did open up aggressive, but he really got no damage done, and he hardly even really got over to Nice's side of the map. Like the Medivac just had to turn around. I mean, he's got a lot of Widow Mines now, but that phase is sort of passing. So a very good defense for Nice, and he's gonna have a gold base up soon.
indeed. This is fantastic. I'm so impressed.
I'm curious
right
if
now
he'll
for
recall
like.
probes to the base.
Oh, I hope he does it. I really do.
Oh yeah, he's pulling him down to the side of his natural. Look at this. He's gonna recall.
Oh. Okay, this is Protoss at its best. Nice is making the use of everything that he has. Oh, we gotta get him to work though. There we go. Get that mining happening. Pushing across the map now is Keen. Looks like he's got that medevac. Oh, he's going to go for the double-pronged harass here. One medevac into the natural. One trying to get into the main, but oh, is that Phoenix Cloud?
Oh,
yeah,
so
run!
Close.
No, he's getting in range.
Mines are dropping at the natural. Oh, Nice isn't reacting. We're going to see some dead probes. 6, 8, 11 go down.
Oh, that was
And there's
brutal.
also mines buried outside of his natural. These Phoenix are about to fly into him. One mine goes off on one Phoenix. Another one going to go off on another Phoenix.
Got a Phoenix kill. That first one got 2 hits and is dead.
Yeah, Nice needs to get back to mining. I mean, normally for a Protoss player, this is like a pretty bad situation, but it was a little bit later of harassment, and Nice does have the gold base. So he's got that going for him, which is, you know, nice. But,
Which... yeah, absolutely. Which almost got scouted, by the way. That medevac going home almost saw that thing, but just stayed just outside of the range. Nice managed to keep that hidden for just a little bit longer. I can't imagine it's going to stay there forever, but so far, Keen doesn't show any interest in heading over there to check anything out or scanning, and this is great for him.
Yeah, I mean, now the thing is, with this gold base, Nice is going to have a massive economy as far as minerals go, and he's investing in Resonating Glaives Adepts and +1, and this makes him absolutely lethal versus Terran. So we made, and there's a Warp Prism coming out, so we're going to see a big attack from Nice, and I mean, he took some damage, but he's still off the back of this gold base, so this is going to be scary.
Oh, here comes another drop. Oh, this one is actually going to see the gold base up there in the top right.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's actually a Marine.
Marine comes
There's
in.
a cannon there, though.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm loving that. But, I mean, I'm not sure Keen's going to be able to do anything about this. The Phoenix are getting a bit of damage done. I think they picked up a mine there. And, I mean, Nice, he's going to be trying to basically kill Keen right now. There's a lot of Adepts coming out, and this is going to be a scary attack. Widowmine drop did happen in the natural, or Widowmine run by something along those lines, but if Keen just dies here, that's not too relevant.
Exactly. You can lose the workers, but if you win the game, it doesn't matter. Adepts fighting here. There's a good number of Marauders,
yeah,
which is what you want.
A little bit, but now there's all the reinforcements coming in, so we'll see. I mean, is Nice going to go for it? He is. There's a lot of Widowmines, so massive
the Widowmines! The Widowmine's getting some hits on those Adepts, getting some damage done on the friendly units as well, but not enough. There are still a good number of Marines and Marauders here. They've got Stim. They're mad. They're going to push across. All that's left here are a few Phoenix and some warping in Adepts, but the numbers do not seem to favor the Protoss player here. Some medevacs are getting picked off. Actually, is he going to lose all of his medevacs? The anti-air is not sufficient here for Keen.
Phoenix really do help out with picking off the medevacs. It really takes the wind out of Terran sales, but there's still not too much for Nice. Keen really is far ahead in supply.
He is, but 3 bases for Nice. He's got the gold base. He's keeping Keen fairly contained right now. Is he warping in additional Adepts? He is. The +1 attack and the Resonating Glaives are done. He's trying to focus down the Marines. Nah, he's focusing on the Marauders here, too. That's not what he wants to do. The Adepts should be killing Marines, allowing the Phoenix to get rid of the rest of the stuff. Another Adept dead. Takes a Widowmine shot after she is already gone. And Nice is going to pull back a little bit.
Yeah, once Terran really hits that critical mass, like, I mean, there's a reason why Protoss don't necessarily go for, like, a mass gateway style or anything like that. And that's because, I mean, Bio just, it scales. It definitely does scale very, very well for the Terrans. So once it does hit, I mean, they may be vulnerable before they hit that critical mass, but Keen's looking like he's kind of hit that critical mass. He's now moving over to kill off this base to the right. And I don't think Nice is going to be able to do too much about that.
Yeah, some more Adepts trying to get in here, but it just looks like there's too much bio, but they're unsupported by medevacs entirely. This group, goodbye Secret Base. Took 9 minutes to get that thing down. Adepts still fighting. There's a bunker here. We are lifting and killing and lifting and killing. The Phoenix are just doing work right now. Another medevac is going to fall. There are only 3 medevacs on the field right now for Keen. He'd like to have a lot more than that. Bringing everybody home to the natural base. We're officially 2 base to 2 base, although Keen does have a 3rd base technically in existence, although it's not doing anything right now.
Yeah, I mean, Nice. I mean, getting 12 worker kills is very good for him, but he's got to hold off this army. And I mean, Adepts are good, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to take on this bio. His Widowmines are burrowing right into their face there. And I think that may be a nice out of plays once Keen focuses down these Adepts that are warping in.
Yeah, this Adept Phoenix thing really takes me back to the early days of Legacy of the Void. Haven't seen it a lot, but it's, I mean, Nice is trying to make it work here against Keen. Got some good damage done. He might actually be able to live here, and he is. There's only a few Marauders left. The Phoenix can lift and kill what remains. They're very low HP anyway. And then, but cancel the Adept Warpin! Getting the pylon. The probes have to fight for their own little lives here, which is terrible for them. They're so bad against Marauders. But finally, some Adepts show up and finish them off. But guess who's coming? Another huge attack wave from Keen.
Yeah, I mean, Nice survives, but that's really just to die later from the looks of it, because this is a lot of Terran coming across the map. I mean, Nice, he can keep warping at Adepts, and I mean, with good engagements, Adepts can be alright versus Bio, but yeah, GG gets called. There's not enough to stop that. Keen takes the first map.
He does an admirable effort there from Nice. Just fantastic play from him. Getting the secret gold base, hiding it for a while there. It took several minutes for Keen to figure out it was there and then to take it down. But then going for Adepts with the +1 attack, the resonating glaives, the warp prism support, and then the Phoenix play was just godlike from him, but it wasn't enough. The macro from Lenok, he lost a lot of stuff, but he had a lot of stuff coming. Every army that you kill, there's another one right behind it.
Yeah, for sure. The second map is going to be... it's going to be lost and found, so I mean, it's a best of 5, and that game looked pretty good for Nice at the start. It just sort of went a little bit wrong there when I mean, he was going, I guess, I mean, it's hard to say in StarCraft where exactly everything went wrong, because it's a game in which you make a million moves, but like as far as that game goes, like, it's possible that he could have snowballed into Keen, but Keen managed to engage the Adepts when, like, he managed to engage half the Adepts when they were split up outside his base, so I think that's what really gave Keen confidence to deal with that attack, and then he was getting counter damage done, so that was pretty good for him.
Yeah, taking out that gold base was huge, able to spare the units to get up there and take that thing out, really slow down the income of Nice, and that was kind of the beginning of the end there. But yeah, Adept Phoenix, go figure. Didn't figure I'd see that in 2018, but we got one before the end of the year, so
Yeah, that's why it's awesome to watch the Taiwanese players, because they're so refreshing to watch. Okay, yeah. We're just waiting for everyone to get into the lobby, and then we'll be going for it. It's going to be another Terran versus Protoss, but after that game, I'm excited to see the remaining ones.
Absolutely. You changed your observer interface, right?
I did indeed. I'm not that forgetful.
Okay,
but
good. Just, it's been a bit of a weird cast. Figured I'd make sure.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I mean, yeah, I reset Windows and everything, and some things copy over, but apparently observer interfaces don't, so...
Yeah, those settings you have to tweak a little bit after a big change like that. Yeah, he killed so many medevacs. So many.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that would have been awesome to check, but alrighty, here we are. We're moving forward in this best of 5. This guy spawning down the bottom left-hand side, playing for Team Revolution, and he's a very solid Terran. It's Keen.
And spawning in the top right-hand side, Nice, with a good effort in game 1. Not quite enough to take down Keen, though. It is Nice.
Yeah, I mean, Nice also is sponsored by Freaka TV, so it's sort of fitting that he managed to step in, sort of help the tournament out a little bit here. But I'm excited to see what he's going to do this game. There's no gold bases on this map, but he may be able to bring out something a little wonky.
Well, and if there was one, you're sure that, I mean, I'm positive that Keen would have checked it. He would have said, hey.
Yeah, it's just one of
check
those
that
things.
Gold.
Yeah, like, you don't see gold bases or anything like that too often. I mean, because pros are like, oh, I'll just scout for that, and then it's one of those things. Then they start sort of slacking on the scouting for him, but that's awesome play by Nice. And look at this, he's going for an aggressive pylon. I think we might be seeing that 2-gate opening from Protoss.
I love it. I really love it. The timings are so much faster than Terran expects when they're out there. And if you can catch a Terran by surprise in their own base, it's really, really hard to deal with. So SCV Scout, nah, just going to wait for the Reaper. Reaper timing looks like it's about the same as the last game here. And Nice might not have a lot back home to deal with that. We'll see. We'll see if he gets an Adept out or a Stalker out in time to deal with this early Reaper.
Yeah, it also kind of depends how Keen's going to follow this up. And he's actually just going for a Marine at the start. He's not going for a Reaper, so he's playing blind. And there's going to be a Zealot heading towards his base, and like just in a second here.
All right. Well, Probe getting in maybe could harass that building. The SCV was building, but there's a Marine at the top of the ramp. So no real harassment there at all. But Reaper in production now after the Marine. Looks like he's rallied, just going to hang out, not so much to head out, try to get some stuff done.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting coming out of Keen, the way that he opened with the Marine. I guess that was to maybe try and catch the probe, because Protoss know the timings so well, how long they can stick around versus a Reaper, but Keen made the Marine. I guess that was maybe to try and catch the probe, but Nice did keep the probe alive. And now we'll see, is Keen going to be able to keep his expansion alive? Because this Stalker's going to get there before that command center finishes up.
Yeah, and even if the Reaper was there, it wouldn't really matter. The Marine here can't do anything either. We're definitely pausing construction on that base. No natural for you, Keen, not for some time anyway. The wall's up, but the Stalker going to go ahead and start working on this supply depot. Technically bonus damage versus buildings. Will take a while to get there. SCV is coming into repair. Reaper trying to get something done. KD8 charge getting an extra 10 damage there, but it doesn't really matter. Zealot showing up too. Oh, this feels so much like early Brood War, where you just send a single Stalker and a Zealot to your opponent's base and try to get stuff done that way. I love it. I like what we're seeing here. Another Stalker here. We're double pumping Marines, but I'm not even sure if that's going to be enough. This is looking amazingly good for Nice.
Yeah, I love this kind of opening, because this is a commitment for Nice, but we'll see how he's going to follow it up, and it looks like he will be following it up with even more aggression, so he is committing to this all in, but he did get down the supply depot. He's got a few Stalkers out, and they're very microable, so he's able to kite back, and Keen still doesn't have this command center up, and the most important thing is that he's hoping he's going to be able to get it up, but Nice really is committing to this, and Keen could be playing into that by committing down at his natural here. He may just have to cancel the CC and try and hold.
Yeah, at this stage, it looks like he's going to have to. The Cyclone is godlike when it's got SCVs repairing, but this is a good number of Stalker doing bonus damage versus the Cyclone as well, as it is armored, and there's the cancel on the natural base. Coming up the ramp a little bit here are the Stalkers, but that's not a great position for them. If they can keep Keen on one base, I think they're going to be okay for the time being, although there's a tank in production, and that will swing the balance of power here in just a couple seconds.
Yeah, it certainly will. There's going to be the Warp Prism, but I mean, even with a Warp Prism, it's going to be tough for Keen to or for Nice to be able to break up this ramp. If he makes an Immortal, that may be able to do the trick. Immortals and Prisms can sometimes snipe tanks versus Terrans that are caught in their base like this, but we'll see. I mean, it is important to remember that Nice did commit to this. Sometimes Protoss will follow this up just with an expand, but no, Nice is really going all in here. He's trying to break up the ramp. He's going to micro with the Warp Prism, but quickly decides that's a bad idea. Okay, I mean, no Immortal or anything started, and he is starting that Nexus now, but I mean, he really did commit a lot to this, and he could have definitely expanded earlier for what he got. Like, I mean, he got the nice early bit of damage done, but he just committed to so much more and hasn't really paid out that extra commitment, so.
No, and even swinging back around with this Warp Prism into the main base isn't going to do much. The tank coverage is covering that mineral line as well as the front door. The positioning is really good here for Keen, and he's forced to just flee without getting too much done at all. That Reaper still doing work inside the main. By golly, it is. He's going to get a probe kill. This second Reaper, man, the first one died, but the second one is making things work. Another probe down before the Adept shows up, and he's going to make a quick exit.
Yeah, that's very nice. I mean, 3 probes in this situation is actually huge, because Nice, I mean, he's not on a good economy. He's going to have to figure out how to follow this up, whether it be to try and macro transition or try and find some new damage. He's going into Blink, as he did throw up a Twilight Council, but, never mind. He actually force fielded and picked off 2 tanks.
Woo!
I wasn't looking there, but yeah, I mean, I guess Keen was planning on moving down to take his expansion, but Nice just doing that sort of thing in which you really double down. And so getting 2 tanks is actually huge for Nice there, because it's going to delay Keen pushing out. If Keen goes aggressive, not having those tanks will be huge, and he's still microing this Warp Prism while this is going on, so, I mean, that was nice.
This is going to be a problem for this whole series, isn't it?
It is. I'm kind of rooting for Keen here.
Oh, okay, another Stalker force fielded, or another tank picked off here by the Stalkers. Liberator gone too. SCV just for good measure before he backs on out of here. Fantastic play, getting some free shots off on the orbital command, forcing Keen to repair it, taking some tank fire though.
Yeah,
not what you want to do.
In the battery he can retreat to, so he may still be able to deny this this base being taken. The Warp Prism's also maybe going to come on in here. I mean, this is a lot of Stalkers, and the fact that he's killed off 3 tanks this game, I mean, pushing into 4 tanks isn't possible for gateway units, really. Well, unupgraded gateway units, but the fact that he's whittled these down, it's actually giving Nice an opportunity to really pull Keen apart. And look at this, he's dropping Stalkers in the main base.
He is, and still delaying and denying that natural
is he gonna
base.
get another tank? He does.
Yes, the repair is not enough. Only Marines here to defend right now. Not going to do well against these Stalkers. Reinforcements coming in. The natural base taking severe shots here as well. The multitasking by Nice has been super impressive thus far. The natural base is in a ton of trouble. All these Marines are forced to defend.
Good repair for Keen though.
Fantastic, but he's using so many resources to do it here too, and not gathering resources, spending them to keep this alive.
I mean, there's not that much buffer because, I mean, Nice has been whittling down Keen. Some of the Marines are busy in the main base. It is possible that Nice may just go for a big blink onto this tank. Since there is only one tank, he can maybe do that. I mean, if Keen pulls these Marines down to the low ground, but they're not, so the tank's
there it
down,
is! No, the tank almost got target fired.
Oh, okay, so trade's going down, but those high-tech units being picked off, and Stalkers, they excel in this situation versus just unstimmed Marines.
Ooh, they wanted that Cyclone so bad, but he was able to pull back to the back just in time. Another tank shows up, but he hasn't been able to get more than 2 tanks out at a time. Has lost 5 so far.
He's gonna blink
Beautiful.
into the main and drop Zealots as well.
Oh, the
my
Zealots!
God, this is such a sick play from Nice. I mean, the Zealots to be the buffer while the Stalkers deal the damage, since there is no tanks, and I mean, Gateway units are decent versus non-stimmed bio. So now we've seen, I mean, Nice is in a bit of an awkward situation right now, but he's picking off a decent number of workers, and he's actually going to recall. This is such a sick play.
He doesn't even lose a unit during the recall. Fantastic from him. And is it going home time? He's got a third base warping, and I think he feels like he's done enough damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's debatable, but Keen is only on 2 CCs. The fact that he's whittled down this tank count, and Keen never started stim. I was talking about how, oh, these units are good versus non-stimmed units. Well, Keen's not going to have stim for a long time, and the fact that he lost the tanks, for Terran pushing out, you really need either high-tech units like tanks and liberators, or you need stimmed bio. That's usually how it works. And Keen's army, I mean, while tanks, he could have a lot more units if he wasn't whittled down. And look at this, Nice just comes out again. He figures, I've got Stalkers with mobility. I can keep testing the waters.
Yeah, just keep Keen afraid. Afraid of blink-ins, afraid of blinks at the front, afraid of attacks around the backside. Just make him so worried he can't really get some pressure out of his own to take down your third base.
And look at this, Nice transferring probes towards his third base, and yeah, Keen's finally secured that naturally. He had to fight tooth and nail for it, but his main base is starting to mine out, so Nice will have a good economy behind this. And then, I mean, there's still no stim for Keen as well. It's ages away. One Stalker blinks in to absorb the tank shot, and he's now in the main base. I think Nice may actually have just done this, picking off these 2 tanks here. He can maybe get stim as well. And Zealot's warping in, so he's really committing here.
Oh, the charge lots are so good here. Keeping them back. Don't want to get them stuck in that choke against those Marines. Another tank shows up for Keen, but it's just the one tank, just these Marines picking off SCVs. Yeah. How's he losing probes? What is going on? Oh, there's a Liberator at the third base.
Oh, very nicely done, but is it going to be enough? I mean, keep in mind, this army has stim, or has no stim. Stim was canceled, and charge lots versus non-stimmed Marines, they can't run away, and even the Stalkers are decent. So, okay, we'll see. The Zealots are going to go for it. I mean, this is a pretty good show point for Keen, but the tank can be focused down by the Stalkers, and GG gets called. Nice ties it up. Oh, man, that was such sick play.
That was impressive. Remember what I said about Protoss not needing splash damage against Terran? That's exactly what we're talking about there. Stalker pressures, Zealots, charge lots, shield battery support, picking off tanks one by one. He must have killed 8 or 9 tanks in that game, and it wasn't that long of a game either. Fantastic display from that dude.
Oh, that was such sick play. Okay, we're gonna load into the third map now, which is Parasite. Okay.
Man, his blinks are so well timed. I'm just looking back at the stream because obviously we can do that because of the delay, and yeah, he's just getting in there, getting tank after tank after tank, taking Marine fire, but not really losing too many Stalkers in the process.
Yeah, those Stalkers didn't die. I mean, if I try something like that, it does not go that well. I lose all my Stalkers, but Nice playing very well. And I mean, we are on the Korean server we're on the Korean server, and I'm pretty sure Nice is playing from Taiwan, so he will have a little bit of ping as well. So he's playing really well to play such a microable style.
Yes, definitely. I'm also impressed with how well Keen was able to get attacks over on the other side of the map. There was that Reaper There was a Liberator towards the end of the game. I mean, I know when I'm under attack like this, I just turtle up so hard, don't even think about countering. But Keen, man, he got stuff out there. He killed some probes. Wasn't quite enough to keep him alive at home, but he did all he could to stay alive in that game. But we are tied up going into game number 3.
Yeah, that was actually that was such an awesome play though. Just that style, it's so like the first game that was so cool to see the gold base and now going for such an aggressive style. I mean, if I face something like this on the ladder, I'm crying, but when I'm watching it, I don't mind.
Yeah, when it's somebody else on the other end, that's fantastic. So fun indeed. But yeah, Blink Stalker, Charge Lots, Warp Prism. That's all I need to beat a Terran, guys. Protoss friends out there struggling with Terran. That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah,
You just have to be nice.
Yeah, Keen is such a solid player. Like, I mean, there's a reason probably why Nice has been going for the aggression, and that's because he probably doesn't want to enter that mid game with Keen on solid footing. But yeah, anyway, we'll see how this one's going to go. Spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map. Sponsored by Afrika TV. It's Nice, the Protoss player from Taiwan.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, it is going to be the Korean Terran player. He's red, and he's Keen.
Keen for this match, we'll see. I mean, alrighty. Looks like Keen may be returning the favor here, moving out with an SCV at maybe that one proxy barracks for that early Reaper.
Yeah, there it is. We do have the barracks being thrown up at home. Probe Scout heading out, although is it a Probe Scout? Yeah, he's taking a fairly direct path up to the other base. I wouldn't be surprised if this just went directly to Keen's main to see what's going on. At that point, if you don't see a barracks there, you know something's coming. Ooh, the double gas too.
Yeah,
this really feels like a Cyclone push.
Yeah, I mean, Terrans sometimes, if they just go for a single gas, they still can proxy the barracks and find damage, but this shows that Keen is really going to be committing to this.
Yeah, Probe's going to get in there, get that scout. That's all such important information. Nice really needs. He comes in, he sees, okay, there's no barracks here, and there's double gas. Alarm bells, red alert, what do we do?
Yeah, I mean, now he knows that he's got to deal with something. The question is, how is he going to deal with it? Well, for starters, not going for the Nexus is an obvious one. I mean, if you see a Terran on double gas, it's not like you need a quick Nexus to deal with that, so he's also getting out a Zealot as well. And then getting up to Cybercore is important. The placement of his buildings is also very important. We'll see if he throws up a shield battery at some point, but we're still not exactly sure what Keen's going to go for. We can assume it's probably going to be Cyclones after this Reaper if he starts a reactor, but he's actually starting a second Reaper after this, so this makes me think that it could be a starport.
All right, well, we'll have to wait and see. Reaper going to try to get in here. There's an Adept in production, but he's not here yet. Getting Chrono Boost out. There's a Zealot just to kind of try to zone the Reaper away from these probes. Probe laughs at the Zealot. Ha ha ha. You can't catch me in a million years. But actually pulling out anyway. I guess recognizing the Adept was the next thing to come out of that gateway. And then heading out and waiting for his friend. It is a Cyclone. Okay, so a couple Reapers and a Cyclone here. Going to be the answer.
Now, interestingly enough, we've got a Stargate on the way for Nice. And I'm curious whether it's going to be a Phoenix or whether it is... Oh, Zealot and Adept are actually moving out, getting shot by these Reapers. I am curious if it is going to be for Phoenix or if it's going to be for an Oracle, because, I mean, I figure if you're going Adepts, you will need the Oracle for the DPS, but if he was making Stalkers instead of Adepts right now, I feel as if Phoenix would probably be better because they go very well with Stalkers. One of the Reapers does go down, but he's gotten 2 probes already, so that's nice for Keen. Maybe looking for a third? Not quite.
Yeah, we got the Adept trying to take care of that SCV, trying to repair those forward buildings. Barracks going home, Cyclone going home. Guess Keen decided that 2 probes is probably as much as he's going to get, although there is a Medivac here with a Cyclone coming up too. He might try to fly that in and just catch Nice unawares.
Yeah, I mean, Cyclones with Medivacs, a very powerful micro tool. And so we'll see what he's going to be able to get done with that. Now, there is a Phoenix out for Nice, which is very important. They can always lift off the Cyclones. They can always shut down the Medivac. So Keen may honestly just go home with this. Keep the Cyclone, keep the Medivac for a rainy day. But look at this. Oracle getting in for Nice. Actually getting some good damage done. Picking off... So far he's gotten 4 SCVs, which is no small amount for a low economy Terran.
Yeah, and kept the Oracle alive too, which is just huge. There for future revelations, there for future harassment too. And bringing the Widow Mines back home to defend against this Oracle. Nice has effectively turned the tables on his Terran opponent with the harassment. Actually burring a Widow Mine kind of in the middle of nowhere, trying to catch an Oracle unawares. Oh, flew past. Ooh, did not actually get hit, though. That was close.
That's nice.
Reaper down. Really wishes that Widow Mine would have killed the Oracle, but it doesn't, and got to keep that pressure up. A forward pylon attempting to get warped in here by Nice. He is feeling incredibly confident. Those buildings are trying to fly back home, but at the same time, there are units here. This is amazing stuff. It's like homeward bound. Meanwhile, inside the main base of Nice, we do have the Liberator.
Stalker warped in. The Phoenix are probably going to go back to help clean that up quickly, but Liberator denying some mining, which is very good for him. When your opponent's only on one base, denying mining at that base is pretty significant, but it's also important to note that Keen has no production or no real good production that's available to him, as his factory and starport are now flying across the map, so he really committed to that proxy while tech-wise across the map, but it's not like he did a whole lot of it. I mean, he made a Cyclone or two and then he sent them home, so that was very good. This is looking pretty good for Nice.
It is. That's his only starport, by the way. He doesn't have another one back home, so that is it for air units. Does he have another factory is another good question. He does. No, that's his only factory as well. So he pretty much has to start over with a tech tree if he loses that factory and that starport. That's an amazing play out of Nice.
Yeah,
Did Keen land those again?
He did. He's just trying to keep them alive, I guess. But they're both going to be burning pretty soon. Starport's going to go down, which will be very, very good for the Protoss player. And then Tech Lab is going to be on the way for Keen, so Stim is really his only tech follow-up. I mean, it's not like he can go into tanks or anything because he doesn't have the production. Oh, look at this. Nice actually committing into the natural here, just running by. I mean, these Adepts are very tanky, but if the Phoenix and Oracles get involved, it's going to be interesting how this works out.
Yeah, he tried to pick off the missile turret, but he couldn't. The repair was too good.
He gets focused down.
Oh, that's a lift on the Cyclones. It's only a couple Marines here remaining.
He gets the stasis down.
Oh, that was so huge! Sick. Only one Cyclone remaining here, getting target fired.
Well,
SCV trying to repair.
Cyclone. The other's busy being stuck in a stasis. I mean, this still was a... lifts up another Cyclone, but the Medivac goes down, so this was real interesting coming out of the Protoss player. I mean, an odd commitment, and I think he may have gotten enough damage done with it. It's tough to say. I mean, worker count, Keen is still ahead, but it's not like he's started to stim yet. It's not like he has much production. So this is a wonky game.
Indeed it is. Another SCV picked off, lifting another Cyclone. The repair is happening, but it's not enough.
Okay, I mean, all the Phoenix are going down, but the mine gets lifted, and Nice is going to come in with another round of units and focus it down. There's not too many units left for Keen. I mean, we'll see. The mining is still just being denied at this natural base.
This is such a gritty game. Both players losing a lot of stuff, but the aggression from Nice looks like it's going to happen. There's only... Oh, the classic raise there. Nicely done. Natural base taking a ton of fire here, though. Can he save it is the question. He's making a Liberator. He's making 4 Marines at a time, but is it enough? I don't think so. He's lifting. Everybody that comes out of that bunker ends up getting killed. Anybody not inside the building is dead right here. And more units being produced, warping in additional Adepts, getting resonating glaives, and Nice is in a wonderful position.
Yeah, this is based on the fact that there is no tanks or anything that can be produced by Keen, so Nice is just setting up shop here at this natural base.
Yeah, no mining. No mining has happened at all at this natural base for like 2 or 3 minutes now.
Rally on in there. That's a bit of a mistake. And now there's a Liberator, so I mean, Nice may have overstayed his welcome in these gateway units. There's just not too many, so this is actually going to be a nice cleanup for Keen here.
He's trying to take as many SCVs as he can before he's dead. That was a nice couple extra pickups there. 21 SCVs have been killed. 6 probes have gone down so far.
Yeah, if we look at the army supply, though, it is a little bit concerning for the Protoss player.
Oh, he went for the 3rd base. He thought he had the contain, but the counterattack by Keen is on its way. Resonating Glaives is about 20 seconds from completing here. He's going to need every bit of the Resonating Glaives. Getting some Stalkers here. +1 attack is also approximately 20 or 30 seconds from completing. If he can get +1 and Resonating Glaives and some sentries for that Guardian Shield, he might be able to hold this thing off because Keen has blood on his mind.
He certainly does. He says, you can't just set up shop in my natural like that and get away with it. So he's coming across the map. Stim should be finishing up for Keen as he does get across here, but I mean, he did lose a fair few units, so his army's not that big. A lot more is going to be coming along the way, so the question is Nice going to be able to get up a big Adept warp in to help deal with this? There's a drop in the main base. These gateways need to transform so he can warp on in, but I mean, Resonating Glaives Adepts are pretty good versus Marines without combat shields. They don't quite have it yet. So they're going to start getting to work on that. Guardian Shield, the Adepts helping deal with this, but there's also going to be an attack at the third base. There's a Liberator at the natural. Stalker's warping in. Oh, but they are going to get hit in the face by these Marines. And so this is going pretty well for Keen now. Third base is under fire. Some Zealots being warped in, but you ain't got charged Nice, so these Zealots really are just going to buy time at best. I mean, the Natural's mining again, but looks like the third base will be going down. And that's
the Protoss army. He's trying to save it, but no, the focus is there, and the probes are all going to die. And there's just not enough here. There's an Immortal. I like it. I like it against these Marauders, but suddenly third base gone. Third base by Keen coming up on the other side of the map. And the tables have turned again. Keen finds himself in a wonderful position. 42 to 33 Harvesters, 88 to 49 oversupply. Yeah, Keen is in control here.
Yeah, it just goes to show that if Keen does manage to hold on versus Nice's shenanigans, he will be in a very good spot. So we'll see. I mean, what is Nice gonna do to come back? I mean, he's starting a Warp Prism, which means sort of like all in, I guess. But no, Nice is just gonna tap out. GG. Can't really blame him for that. But Keen's gonna take the 2-1 lead.
Incredible game. This series has been so much fun. Haven't seen a macro style game where everyone's just kind of sitting back and macroing up and there's a little harassment here and there. No. Nice has been trying to kill Keen consistently. Keen has put some aggression on the early game 2 and game number 3. And it's just been a knife fight the whole way. Usually something I only use to express how a Zerg game has gone. But man, what a knife fight that last game was.
It really was. Now, the next map's going to be Blue Shift. So Nice not out of it yet. I mean, he's definitely been in good spots in pretty much all of the games. But we'll see. Is he going to be able to get into another good spot in the next match and then maybe close it out? So
that's the question. That's why everyone's here. That's why all 215 viewers are present for this series. Yeah, I mean, it's always hard, right? I've been in that situation before where a Terran player put some early pressure, some proxy barracks, and I shut it down fairly well. Then I'm not sure if I should go for the counterattack and try to kill him there, or if I should sit back and macro up with an advantage. And there have been times I've gone for the counterattack and just not been quite able to finish it off. And then the Terran's just fine at that point because I wasn't macroing back home very well. I wasn't really getting up at third base. And then suddenly we're on even footing and I really feel stupid. But I don't know. It's a decision you have to make and you got to live with the results.
Alrighty. So both these players are ready. We're going to load on in. Now, even if Keen does manage to take it here, make sure to stay put, guys, because we're going to be having at least three more best of fives today. Next up, it's going to be Supernova versus Haas, so featuring another Taiwanese player. And so that'll be another interesting TVP. And
not just any Taiwanese player.
Kure. Yeah, not just any Taiwanese player. Some may argue the Taiwanese player.
Yes.
The dairy farmer himself.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Dairy farming all over the place. A lot of cows in StarCraft.
Alrighty. Spawning down in the bottom left-hand side of the map. Playing for Team Revolution. It is the Terran player, Keen.
And spawning in the top right, it is the Red Protoss player sponsored by Africa. It is Nice!
Yeah, so I mean, Nice has played some good games so far. Now Blue Shift, it's a bit of a smaller map, so we'll see if he's gonna do something. I understand not wanting to play straight up versus Keen, and someone like Nice who does have, I mean, if you're a top Taiwanese Protoss, you're gonna probably look at Haas if you're from the same country. So it's like, oh, what's he doing to get all this success? So now maybe Nice gonna pour on some more aggression, some more cheese, perhaps. Now we'll see. This could just be a scouting probe here.
And yeah, the scout, you really, really do want the scout here. Gonna come right up. Gonna see no shenanigans out of Keen today. No proxy barracks, no quick double gas, just what looks like a 1 Rax expand. Nothing to freak out about. And now Nice has some options. Does he follow up with a 1 gate expand? Does he go for a double gas opening? Maybe get some Stargate stuff early. Does he go for a proxy himself? But really hard to do without that second probe moving out, and this probe is being followed very closely by the SCV.
Yeah, I mean, Probe not really going to be able to delay this CC from the looks of it, but I mean, it is just a CC. It's going to be a standard expand. Probe, you got to be careful there. Meanwhile, Nice going for a standard Expo himself, then the Cybercore. So yeah, pretty standard game. I believe that Cybercore was before the Nexus, so gonna have that out that quick higher tech unit in order to help deal with the Reaper, which will be nice. That's a slight notice for Nice.
Yeah, he's lost way too many probes to Reapers in this matchup already. I think he just wants to kind of keep that to a minimum from this point on. And having Adept out early really shuts down that early Reaper play for sure. With the reactor coming up on the barracks and the factory follow-up here from Keen. Oh, that's interesting. We could proxy out some Hellions possibly for some harassment. Cyclones could be in the play here too. Although that double gas in the main, that does indicate a little bit more towards the Cyclone side of things.
Yeah, it could be for a mine drop maybe, but like you said, that double gas, I mean, you can do mine drops off just one gas as Terran, but we'll see what Keaton's going for. Is he going to build a starport somewhere? For now, he's busy microing this Reaper. So far, it hasn't gotten a kill.
Yeah, I mean, that's all the difference. If you've got the Stalker out or the Adept out early, it's really difficult.
Adept actually going to be able to delay this CC. Look at that.
Oh, the Marines are not quite here yet. The Adept's trying to get into the wall.
Gotta be careful. One of the Marine pops out on the wrong side of town, but look at this. The Hellion is actually pretty good versus an Adept in low numbers, so this Adept, I mean, it does cancel its shade, but it will be in trouble here. It is going to go down.
Oh! Maybe a little bit overextending there, but knew the Hellion would probably chase it down and kill it anyway, so might as well get in for a scout while you're there. So Hellion pushing out across the map by himself. He is, again, very good against Adepts. Really terrible against Stalkers in general, though. Can get chased down. It doesn't do that bonus damage like it does against Light. So Reaper Hellion here, going to push in against the Stalker, trying to sneak in the back way. The Stalker says, get away. Get away from my probes.
Now it is
and just going
one Hellion, interestingly enough. Reaper's going to dive on in, but yeah, this Hellion will end up getting picked off. The Reaper will go down. So, I mean, that was sort of just like an expensive guaranteed scout from Keen there. I mean, he saw the Robo, which is really important because, I mean, Warp Prism and 3 gateways can always spell trouble for a Terran player. So, we'll see what Keen's getting up back at home. I mean, it's not like he was going for a super quick tank. He's getting a tech lab now, but he also hasn't built a bunker up. I think this bunker may be a little bit too late up at the front. We'll see. As these Stalkers are marching forward. I mean, bunker timing can be everything in StarCraft 2. As the balance team has told us numerous times, but we'll see. These Stalkers not moving in just yet. If he can snipe off this SCV, it would be nice, but he's actually just going to engage and micro back with his Warp Prism. Look at this. This is actually so sick. Doesn't matter if there's a bunker up if there's no Marines to go inside it. So that's a pretty sick play. But back at home, mine drop got six probes.
Ouch.
Okay, yeah, now Nice is going to ferry with these Stalkers. I mean, early on, a Warp Prism Micro, it can be completely invaluable, and he is just going to keep pulling these back, but a tank out really does help out versus these Stalkers, even just in unsiege mode. So, I mean, this looks pretty good for Keen so far. Nice committed to this early pressure, and I'm not sure he's going to be able to get too much done with it.
Yeah, he picked off several Marines there early, and it looked fantastic for him, but the last couple engages have just been not great for him, although if he can get a couple SCVs, he can start to turn the tide there. Yeah, no problemo.
Stalker's a little bit too late in the main base, and we actually saw 3 more probes go down somewhere. It was another round of that mine drop, so, I mean, there's a Liberator out too. Marines are going to catch this Warp Prism. This is going to be pretty rough for Nice.
It is, but the Stalker is going to kill all the Marines that come to deal with it. Maybe some free SCVs kills going for the recall.
2 of the Stalkers. Saves 2, but still. I mean, this is going to be looking pretty good for Keen. There's no stim on the way, but he has been building up this tank count. He's going to be getting up to 3 soon. He's starting stim, getting out a Raven as well. This really is screaming that he may want to go for some aggression here.
Indeed. All right, so stim being researched here by Keen. It doesn't look like it's going to be canceled based on any aggression from Nice anytime soon. But yeah, if Keen can get that out, he's going to be in a great spot.
Yeah, this Observer can also be seen by the Raven too, which is always a pain for Protoss to lose that. Now,
yeah, it's gone.
To get that. No escaping for that Observer. And I mean, Keen can always push out now, and he is going to, but even if he doesn't, he's going to have Stim coming up, which is really going to help him on the tech front. He's planning some more Liberator harassment, and that will be seen. Stalkers are here to deal with that. But I mean, this main attack coming out of Nice here, it could be pretty rough. There's 3 zealots moving out, but those zealots need to be here defending. Charge is going to be done, but not in time for this attack, I don't think. So once
No.
tanks are set up on your natural as a Protoss, it's going to be pretty rough for Nice. I think Keen may just sort of have the checkmate here as he moves on in with his tanks. They're just getting set up right at the natural. He says, hello there, getting up a bunker for good measure. Nice's zealots, they need to make a miracle happen in order to bring this game back for them. But
I mean, the Natural's dead regardless, which is a huge problem. 3 tanks are set up here. There's the Raven. We're dropping stuff in the main, but the SCVs just have to run
yeah,
at this stage.
exactly.
There's really
I mean,
nothing else they have to do.
the damage
Although-
that Keith has done is so much at this point.
It is, although there's an Archon. Archon doing wonderfully against these Marines. Charge chasing them as well, pulling some actually everybody coming home to deal with this. Nice has bought himself a tiny bit of time, but he is down a base. It is 103 to 66 supply. And I
Yeah,
just,
not sure
even
what
if
that-
Nice stays alive,
Yeah, I think maybe try and get this Archon out and then maybe go for a big Archon Zealot attack. I think that's probably his best chance in this game. Well, he's going to warp Zealots in, but the Warp Prism gets blocked in place there by the...
interference matrix.
And there we go. Okay, now there's no Warp Prism. GG gets called. Keen's going to take it 3-1.